I grew up here riding Dartmoor ponies in this beautiful place in Widdicombe in the Moor in southwest England. I struggled through school with severe dyslexia, and I lived for the moments to come back and be with the ponies as they were my stabling influence. My first long distance ride was when I arrived in New Zealand with a friend with just £60, but we had a dream to ride through both islands on our own horses. It took me a while to write up the first book about our New Zealand trip, and then I decided I wanted to see my own country, so I went to Scotland. Here is Callum of Gargonick. He's a Highlander, and I rode him down to Land's End from top of Scotland, and then the next year I took him and his other Highland friend around Southern Ireland. My other long distance rides have been from Mexico to Canada, across America, and right across southern Europe, from Greece to northwest Spain. So Israel was my 7th long distance ride. I went to Israel as it was the Anzac's 100-year reenactment of the Charge of Beersheba in October 2017. I wanted to be there to witness this historic event, which Lord Allenby called the last and greatest cavalry charge in history. In World War I, the Australians and New Zealanders joined forces with the British and Allied forces and shipped 130,000 horses from Australia and 10,000 from New Zealand. On the way to the Western Front, 15,000 horses were redirected to Egypt to protect the Suez Canal and push back the Turks from the Sinai Desert. At that time in the campaign, the Allied forces had had 2 failed attempts to break through the Turkish-German lines between Gaza on the coast and the town of Beersheba, 27 miles inland, and they had lost 10,000 Allied soldiers. Anzac General Harry Cheval came up with a daring plan to make a surprise attack on Beersheba, which was in the middle of the desert, from the east. To avoid being spotted and bombed by enemy aircraft, the Anzacs, supported with British yeomanry, rode 3 nights to Beersheba. They arrived at dawn on the 31st of October 1917. But before they could charge Beersheba, a large hill called Tel El Sabah, embedded with Turks and machine guns, had first to be taken by the New Zealand Mounted Rifles. It took all day with many casualties, and at dusk, with daylight almost gone, it was crucial for the horses to have water and for them to charge to Beersheba, as the horses hadn't had water for 48 hours. 800 horsemen of the 4th and 12th Australian Light Horse Regiments charged. One of the Australian Mounted Infantry, Ernest Paul, wrote in his diary, "We lined up behind a set of hills and came out at a gallop. We had 5 miles to go into town. This is absolutely the greatest charge made in the history of the campaign in this front and will live in history forever."
For more information on Tracey's books, rides and talks, please visit TraceyElliottReep.com. Thank you.